Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. A million things to be said at one time. Let's start with, why is this in this angle? Right. Share to groups. So we'll share to groups now. And good evening. Good evening to everybody. Hope you're having a good Sunday evening. Yes, you're seeing me twice in one day. And yeah, we're just really doing our best to keep all our people connected. A lot of the times, the nightly video is used by the members, mostly PEP members and new members, to chat and have a conversation. It's a bridge. I hear talking away, they talking to each other, and it's cool. Because we built the party around this level of communication, this measure of communication. So, and as much as possible, I'd like to be here for you. I'd like to be here for you as much as possible. Just answering somebody so as much as possible, I'd like to be this bridge every evening. Sorry if I'm missing your comments, because it is the trappings of multimedia that I'm talking to you on this. I'm seeing your comments on this. I'm getting WhatsApps on the other phone, and of course the messages on Facebook. This jersey that I'm wearing, this particular PEP jersey, is world famous. This is the jersey that I was wearing the morning that I dealt with the party in Simeon Road that disturbed the whole of Diego Martin, when we first learned of gunman in Chihole. And it was that morning that I had to say, living in your house, trying to raise your family in a law-abiding manner, 9 o'clock in the morning, gunman in your hole. And that went viral. And then the singer of the song, a fellow by the name of Trinidad Killer, Mr. and Mrs. Killer, big boy child, took that and put it in the song. So they re-released the song, so that from that day go forward, the song started with my voice. And because of that, and because of the video, it went mad on the memes. It went mad. And the memes, the young people in PEP was having a time. I remember it was about 2 days after, and I was walking around the savannah. My son called me to tell me, "You're a meme." At that point, I didn't even know what he meant. Listen to me, I will not be shaving. For the duration of the COVID-19 crisis, you see the name of this video? Day 7, Commander's Log. The shit has the fan in its sights. So I will not be shaving. Those of you who have something to say about my grooming all the time, I don't use mousse, wax, or gel. But as it gets longer, I may have to invest in some kind of cocoa butter or something, Brill cream. But I will not be shaving. And I will use my beard as a statement. So right now, it's at that sexy George Clooney kind of stage. You all know what I'm talking about, right? This video and these nightly videos are meant to be informative and entertaining. So let's call them infotaining. I will take your calls, 682-2110, and we'll chat. And you could ask me questions, and as long as I could answer. It was funny last night. I asked my brother a question about the World Health Organization, and he just went silent. So I had to ask him, "Can you answer that question?" He said no. He couldn't even say that he can't acknowledge the question. And it was funny, because I thought it was funny. Because people, there are rules. There are rules. Rules. 682-2110. My number is 682-2110. It was the first politician's number that was made public to the world. Still is. I asked B-Mobile when I applied for this phone for 682 sexy. I think the woman who was behind the counter Still laughing. But they gave me 682-2110. It's better than the number I had before. I've had this number for a long time. And a lot of people know it. So, you could call me, you could WhatsApp me. To the other people who have not yet been added to WhatsApp, I have gotten your message. It is just that it is a clunky process. And it's a lot of you. And our broadcast has gotten to be quite large. And that's very cool. And we're happy with that. Today we put some information in the public space. Jen, I don't know how many ventilators we have in the country. And it's something that we should know. They should publicize that information. We don't know. But there are other things that we need to keep in mind. That people are going to test positive for this virus. And what they need to be telling us, the critical piece of information that they're not telling us, is have they tested positive with no symptoms, tested positive with mild symptoms, tested positive with serious symptoms, or tested positive with severe symptoms. Those are important bits of information. Bisundat Balgobin, I don't know what you mean by what happened with my brother. My brother is a first world epidemiologist. He works with Canada Health, and he's an assistant professor. But he's a brain and he's brilliant. And this, everybody has their thing. And if they don't have a virus going on in the world, if they don't have an outbreak of something, nobody take him on. But when they have a MERS or a SARS or H1N1 or a swine flu or a bird flu, he becomes activated, and then he gets to play big star, and everybody want to talk to him and find out, only until a cure is found, and then he could haul his half red ass too. The police department has put out a post, and it says, due to the coronavirus, the police department is asking that all criminal activities stop until further notice. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation in this matter. We will update you when we deem it's appropriate to proceed with your bad selves. So as of now, chill. So, police beat people for being in church somewhere in the world today. And I would like to quote Alanis Morissette by saying, isn't it ironic? What has become wrong? Now, somebody said this today, and whoever is in charge, maybe we could unplug 2020 and plug it back in and see if that fixes some of this. Because 2020 really started off with a bang. 2020 wanted to say, watch me. Oh my God, somebody just called, I answered and I lost it. Whoever just called me from 1347, please call me back. I apologize. I don't know what I did. You all know I'm technologically challenged. Anyway, this morning we did a very serious video. Very serious. We put a lot of information in the public space. And if you want that information, go and look for this morning's video and watch that. Maybe I'll find that and put that link in this video. How cool is that? Linking videos to videos. I want to have an interview tonight with Sean Sunarine. And I want to get Sean on the phone to talk about some of the things that was done thus far, especially with the 40 people on the cruise ship. I spoke to him earlier, and I may be getting him on the phone. Sean, if you're hearing me, shoot me a message. I think that everybody should not shave. Don't shave for the duration of coronavirus. Women, don't shave your legs. Don't shave under your arms. If your man love you, he will stay right there. And there are much places he could go, because he know if the next woman, she might be shaving, but she could be positive for coronavirus. She could be a carrier. That's the next thing, you know. There are people who could be carriers and not show symptoms. So you need to be careful who you're interacting with. I've become addicted to tea. Natasha Skeet Surajdean said she's not doing that one. Natasha, it's a way to protest. Let us make a statement without saying a word. Ricky Ramkisoon said that will itch. I do not know what Ricky is talking about or who he's talking about, but I will leave him with that. I am sorry for that 1347 number, and I want you to call back. Yeah? All you see this boy Dave Locks. Every time Dave Locks comment on one of my chats, I just have to go for confession. He's a sinful, sinful man. Beware of him. Beware of Dave Locks. Don't shave. Somebody say being single really have perks indeed. Melissa Sarah, I did not get the peppermint tea. I am still drinking box tea. But I am learning to become a tea connoisseur. And I understand now why people like tea. I've learned, I drink 2 cups of tea a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. Aleph Mustafa says it leaves. I hear you, but we going into some time now where food might get scarce. If you have a mustache in a bed and you eat breakfast and they have nothing else in the house, breakfast will stay in the bed of the mustache and you could smell it whole day and feel like you're eating. PEP members. I really found this was funny, you know. I really found this one about the police department was funny. And Senator Gary Griffith, and he see what he say. Yeah? Although these days he must be busy preparing. Because all you know, if plan A don't work, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I have not hooked up the music tonight because this is not a music line tonight. This is us talking line. But also when I play music, Facebook is giving me dramas with the copyright. So wondering what you're protesting with your no shave stance. Jen, don't tell me that I'm drinking pesticides in my tea. Some people will have to be self-quarantined for a lot longer than others since a lot of people, damn it, I hate when I'm trying to read. I can't read the whole thing. Keep them sentences short because I can't read it now, but I'll read it after when I come back. I'm going to tell you something. Some people don't understand what was really going on. And I get that. I get that a whole lot. I just want our people to stop panicking. I just bought ice cream for my mother. I went to my parents' home because I'd normally take them out on a Sunday for an ice cream. So I went to my parents' home and I put Hadassah Charles McLeod is the deputy chair of the women's arm of the Progressive Empowerment Party. She is a darling and a powerhouse. And Hadassah Charles McLeod, I found out tonight that the person I have been buying ice cream from for must be a decade is your cousin. And he was proud to tell me that. So it's like one family growing more and more. And I tell him, I say, you see, that's why I buy ice cream from these good people. Anyway, so I took the ice cream from my parents. And I put it on the column of the wall next to the gate. Call my mother on the phone to come outside and get it. If only know my parents at all, anything that is out of their comfort zone instantly becomes a massive problem. So it had to take a while for us to coordinate them coming to get Hadassah, Auntie Betty, that ice cream is king. Tell Auntie Betty I buy an ice cream from her for over a decade now. Anyway, what was I going to tell you? So she finally came out to get the ice cream. And I had to give her instructions. When you go inside, take the ice cream out of the bag, throw the bag away, sanitize your hand, and then you could share up the ice cream. That confused her a little bit too. I can't believe that I had to sit in my car and watch my mother take a bowl of ice cream off a wall. I can't believe that's where we are. I can't believe. Hadassah, I had done a video by his place months ago. Sterling, opposite by Simeon Road, by Crystal Stream Bar, he's come out by the vegetable stall opposite Daybreak on weekends. Boss ice cream. Boss ice cream. I had actually done, good night Sterling, I had actually done, people are sending the cutest messages now with their WhatsApps. What's not to love about you? Will and Ivan Nurse. Will and are getting all your messages, brother? Stay strong. Teams. Yes, Sterling, teams. I seen Rondell Glasgow, caretaker for Labre, all the way from Labre. Natalie Stone say I sounding like Jerome Gerard Stone. Tell me why. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my gosh. No. She should have dropped that soursop ice cream. His ice cream is really good. Really, really good. And I'm telling everybody, that boy works so hard. I mean, tonight I'm getting my ice cream. I'm buying ice cream from me and ice cream from my parents. And I'm thinking, you know, he's at risk, rain, drizzling. He stand up outside there and he's work hard and the family business. And he told me that because a lot of those people who sell ice cream, they buy ice cream from B&M. A lot of the people who selling ice cream on the side of the road buying ice cream from B&M. The only people that I know that making their own ice cream is, well, Auntie Betty. Now I know it's Auntie Betty, who's selling, team selling there by Daybreak on Crystal Stream. And then a lady who sell out of a little door space, practically, on Lewis and Arapita corner. And her daughter is making lollies to sell, and they're making lollies professionally and distributed. Yeah, so I love to find small business people and give them all of my continued support. All of my continued support. The day I discovered Roti Cafe in Santa Cruz, I put them on the map. I mean, literally, I tell people, come and get this roti. I say, take pictures of the roti. B&M coconut ice cream is the best. Rose, you're sounding like one of them people who just eat a hot chop roti and call that roti. B&M ice cream, okay, but this ice cream I'm telling you about, this ice cream is real. And you know what they make? They make a boss orange pine ice cream. Häagen-Dazs, Cyril, what you doing, dog? Send me a message. I will FedEx you one of these ice cream. Trinidad ice cream is the best in the world, without a doubt. If you grow up in Trinidad eating real homemade coconut ice cream, they can't look at all with this B&M. Jerome, your sister about talking you on the live, I deal with her. No, but seriously, B&M is good. I don't want to knock them. And they're working hard and they're doing the thing. But Team Ice Cream is the best. Yeah, St. James Main Road for what, boy, Kai? They just threw down an address here and tell us what you're talking about. That's real good stuff. Andy's homemade ice cream in Crystal Stream. That's what we're talking about. Where's the Andy's? Not down on the corner? Soft serve when Woolworth was in TNT. What's the name of the ice cream? Hadassah, there's a name for the ice cream. Tell us. What is the name of the ice cream? Sals, if we could do that, I'd do that. Observing social distancing, coconut pine. You see, Dominic? That is your white boy ways. You have to go and put pineapple in the coconut. It's Andy. So that's who we're talking about, is Andy. So what's this name? Team. Team is something too. Miranda, Josanne, Corner, Lewis, and Arpita, they make nice ice cream. And they make a nice pistachio ice cream. They make Guinness ice cream too. Team Homemade Ice Cream. Good. On the corner of Crystal Stream, opposite Daybreak Cafe. He's there at night, right on the corner by the vegetable place. You can't miss it. Can't miss it. That ice cream is bomb. You all know if I tell you something, close your eyes and buy it. I tell you. November, it had a bad body pain. Yeah. That wasn't H1N1. Dreamy Creamy. Where is Dreamy Creamy, Sheldon? Where's Dreamy Creamy? I'll go and try any ice cream anyway. I will go and I will try any ice cream from anybody. But that boy and Hadassah, the fact that he is your cousin, I tell him, because he was boasting about you. He said, "Ain't you know Hadassah, Charles McLeod?" I say, "But of course, she's a big pappy and pep." He said, "That is my cousin." And he said it with such pride. Christine, what's happening in San Fernando? Miranda's Puncha Creme. That's the same lady on Lewis Street. All you put more information in all your little comments now, so I know what we're talking about. There are plenty of things on my screen. Teams Guinness Ice Cream. Nah, they're the boss still. They're the boss. Dreamy Creamy and South. Alright, you all have to send me a message when I come in on Debbie Jaikran. Don't come with this South thing, no thing again. We know South have good thing, but tongue, I talking about tongue thing. I can't. If I drive down South to get my ice cream, by the time I reach home, it's a cup of milk. Big up Emerson, please. Alright, Gary, if it's you, if you're bigging up Emerson, I mean, they're doing good, eh? And I'm proud of them, eh? I waiting to see. I waiting to see them get somebody to come and finance them, and B&M should be B&M out there so long. B&M out there so long that I am surprised that nobody hasn't come to invest with them and put them in the groceries and set up some proper stores for them. Well, eat it in South. Jaikaran, we will come down South and eat some ice cream by you. Don't stress. Pump your brakes. We will come down there. Oh my God. So many things are happening. So many things are happening. This morning I had to tell people, this COVID-19 got away from us because of bad management at government level. And you know what caused it? Blind faith in politicians. And you know what you have to do? Never, ever, not me, not any other politician. No blind faith in any politician. Well, and actually, I eat a Tobago ice cream and I can't remember the name of the Tobago ice cream. You know I know? Because they used to make sorbet and it was something somewhere from Crown Point, I think. And it used to sell in Trinidad too. Plenty info to digest, indeed. But, well, what's the name of that ice cream? They sell sorbet. They sell a real boss coconut sorbet. And they used to have a nice restaurant on Mokorapo Road, and he used to sell that ice cream for dessert, and it was bomber. I can't remember the name. And I find that it is too difficult for these people who have all of this talent and capacity. Let's use the word scale. Häagen-Dazs is a brand created to capitalize on the then people's interest in things sounding foreign. And Häagen-Dazs, they did all the research. It's not anything, it means nothing. And I am so, it always, you know, the people who bring down Häagen-Dazs, the Haddad family, they bring down Häagen-Dazs and then they go on and they manufacturing their own ice cream under their own brand. They open a $25 million factory. And I'm wondering, again, like we talk about our coffee and we talk about our chocolate, because our hot chocolate is the best in the world. Our coffee is among the best in the world. I mean, come on. Why is our ice cream manufacturers, who are the best in the freaking world, they are the best. I remember when this guy, Ziman, from Bizarre Foods, came to Trinidad and he ate a shark and bake on Maracas Beach. And he said, this is not just the best fish sandwich I have ever eaten. This is the best sandwich I have ever eaten in my life. Now you tell me an endorsement like that from a man who has been all around the world, eating all kind of food, came to Trinidad and said, Trinidad Shark and Bake is the best sandwich of any kind he has ever eaten. And we don't have a chain of Shark and Bake stores, boy. Our ice cream people, some bank was supposed to go to them and say, all right, you're banking with me. I see you consistently doing good money. I want to invite you to a meeting with some of our big depositors. This is what the bank is supposed to do. Andrew Ziman. Ziman, it's not Zimmerman, it's Ziman. Believe it or not, after the R is the N. This is what the bank's supposed to do. Mr. B&M, you're banking with us 20 years now. I see how hard you're working. I am a regular eater of your ice cream. I'm a client. So we have some, now the big shot depositors looking for ways to make money. And you looking for finance because nothing. I am talking to you on an Apple iPhone with an Apple laptop and a next Apple phone. I want to tell you something. When you read Steve Jobs' life and the history of Apple, tell you, without finance, they're dead. Without finance, they're dead. No, you never know Apple. What else did we not know? What else do we not know because they've not been able to access finance? And why is Trinidad so hard on its people? Why doesn't the bank that B&M bank with call a conference with an investment analyst, a lawyer, and some deep pocket members that you have a preliminary conversation? You say, listen, B&M banks with us, or Teams banks with us. Let's say Teams, because I'm talking to Hadassah and their family, Andy, banks with us, and they've been consistent at this level. They are micro enterprise now. But the ice cream market, look how quick you could find this information. Eh? The size of the global ice cream market is expected to grow to $75 billion by 2024. And that would represent a 30% increase in market size over the period. So if that is what that means, let us say that the existing size of the ice cream market in the world is $50 billion. 350 billion TT dollars. You trying to tell me that all them deep pocket financiers, all them big money men in this country, and listen, these bankers, my sister, and I'm going to recommend this to her, my sister represents people and her company represents people from all over the world. And it is time that we started helping these small businesses and helping them scale. You watch Shark Tank, you watch it. We have a stupid knockoff with a set of questionable freaks on a local version shit show. All the people involved in that show I wouldn't touch with a 20-foot pole. But if you watch Shark Tank or Dragon's Den and you listen to them talk, you understand how to scale a business, how to invest in a business. Like somebody could tell you, all right, Mr. B&M Ice Cream, we see that your business could scale. I am involved in Massy. I am also involved in True Value. I'm also involved in whatever. And I have links there because this is how it works. So I don't mind putting a 20 million to scale here so that we could launch it in all those stores for retail. And I will put a next 20 million so we could set up 50 versions of what you have. We start with 10. North, East, South, Tobago, Central. We'll put it together and we'll set up nice little shops to the international standards. And we're going to start looking at exporting. We will hit the export standards. We will get all of the branding and the license and the content requirements, because some products cannot go into certain countries. And we will lend you 50 million, and that $50 million, we will expect to take back that $50 million over the 5 years of the scale, and after that we will hold 10%. So we're gonna blow you up to 1,000 times your size, get back all our money, and hold 10%. A win-win. Win-win-win. Think about it. Think about it. Think about somebody going to Richard Shark and Bake and saying, "Hi, Richard, that brand's strong. Everybody in Trinidad know Richard Shark and Bake. Let's open a Richard Shark and Bake next to every KFC." That is the goal. Willie Ice Cream, Wilbur Balgobin, lost his mind politically and destroyed his own company. Wilbur got tied up in UNC politics and made a shit of Willie's Ice Cream. He was a good test case. But when the UNC came to office and they did all this nonsense with Entrepreneur of the Year and everything was everything in this country reeks of a con job. I mean, come on. Anyway, I ain't getting into those conversations. But what I'm saying is, bankers and finance houses should be looking to get their people together. But you know what? Even the state has a state responsibility. Daniel Marshall said if you don't have the right skin color and last name, you have the cards stacked against you. You have no idea how true that is. Because Joseph Charles Bottling Works, which is the company that makes Solo, is only called Joseph Charles Bottling Works. They changed their East India name so that they could get the company that supplies flavor to sell them flavor. When they were writing them letters in England from Trinidad in the 30s and 40s or whenever it is they was doing it, they wouldn't reply to them because they had an East India name and nobody was replying to it then. And he changed his name to Joseph Charles, very Christian sounding. They responded to him right away. The rest is history. The rest is history. Yeah, the one-ton machine. Yeah, that's a thing. But just imagine a government that sets aside funding for an investment company, and the goal would be to help local entrepreneurs maximize their potential. And I'll tell you why it's the government's interest. Because it creates jobs. It broadens the tax net. It uses local products. It creates an opportunity for export so we could earn foreign exchange. Win, 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 win. We've never had a government with interest in doing anything of value for the people of this country. But a Progressive Empowerment Party government will. Because we are a government, we are a party of the people. You are a party of the people. And Shark and Bake supposed to run KFC out of town. Shark and Bake is the best thing we make. Think about it. Everybody, if you could have go in town tonight and buy a Shark and Bake and fries, you're gone. A Shark and fries, you're gone. So why can't you? But KFC boasting they're selling a 40-foot container of chicken on the Independence Square branch alone. Roti. Roti Cafe is now internationally known. Internationally. There are so many people who come to Trinidad and on their list, on their itinerary, is call Philip, get the address for the roti shop in Santa Cruz he is be talking about so they could go and get a roti. I have never, not once ever, taken a free anything from any of these people that I endorse. Never. And they can't even try to give me because I'm not taking it. I want to support our small businessmen. Because you see, when you pull one person up, they pull 20 with them. So you pull 20, that is 400 up. And those 400 now are contributors to the society. Think about it. Think about it. Doubles. We playing the fool with doubles. We playing the fool with doubles. Because doubles now is internationally known. And we're playing the fool with it. You know what we could be doing with that? Think about it. Think about the things that you know that is Trinidad. Shark and Bake, roti, doubles, our local ice cream. Think about it. Jared Carrio asking me, what is confirmed? What are you talking about? When you all ask a question on a live video, ask a whole sentence now. Yeah? What's the name of the roti shop in Santa Cruz? It's called Roti Cafe. It is between the police station and the fire station. You couldn't get two better landmarks than that. Once you see the police station, find the fire station, it's between the two of them. Sharon Sajuddin is a friend of mine on Facebook. You can message her. And it is the best roti I find, in my opinion. Now, they have people who would say that the actual bus-up shot is a little firm. I wouldn't argue with that. But the actual taste of the curry and the dal pari, boy. Jared, at this point, there could be 55 million cases. You know nothing. They're not telling you age, sex, location. They're not telling you mild, severe, what. You have no... Roti Cafe failed for you, boy, Sterling. I will take you back there. And I will tell Sharon, this man didn't have a good experience. And she will make sure that you get a good experience. Because everything in life, I mean, look at me. I aim to do 100%. I tell people I'm happy if I get 50%. Jared talking about Highway Roti Shop. I have been to Highway Roti Shop on 2 occasions and I wasn't impressed on either occasion. Now, I am a man who eat Piper Roti in San Fernando. They used to have a roti shop called Cat Scratchers. And they used to sell Piper Roti, which was $1 and you get a neck or a foot. And I eat that. There are times when, you know, things was hard. But, yeah. Mona's in Marabella. People talk about Mona's. People talk about Ali's in St. James. I don't like that kind of curry. Sterling, we will go after this virus thing. We will go up Santa Cruz. Sterling's cheesecake. Sterling, what's the story with you on this cheesecake, boss? You should be... Alright, okay, listen. We're not having an argument about who have the best roti. That will always cause commotion. So I'll tell you all this. Somebody said Rowley's refusal to call a state of emergency and Kamala's lack of intelligence in not demanding one could go down as the biggest mistake of governance in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. You know that's worse than bullshit. That is the bull finish shit and you gone inside his ass looking for more. That is stupid. Asking for a state of emergency. Our people are so insipid at times. Who is the jackass asking for that state of emergency? Who is the clown who took the time to make that meme? Stop it. You don't need a state of emergency. You need social distancing. This virus on planet Earth 6 months now, when nobody was distancing, when everybody was up in each other crack, 300,000 people have it right now. But compared to global statistics of other infectious diseases, that is a drop in the bucket. If this was a real, very contagious disease, as some of you all trying to pretend it is, 1 billion people would have it now. 1 million. No. It's on the way out. Social distance. What went on in Italy, Spain, France, and Iran is straight out of China. Direct from China. Courtesy Belt and Road. Lock that off. Take the 11,800 deaths from Italy, China, Spain, France, and Iran. And the rest of the world has had 1,800 deaths. All 7.7 billion of us. Please stop trying to scuttle our democracy out of fear and insipidity. Crack a book. Google something. Come on, man. $300,000 people from Wuhan, China, work in Italy, northern Italy, making Prada and Gucci. So you can fool all yourself, made in Italy. Same Chinese workers. They find a way to con you. So it's not made in China because you're not buying the made in China label, you're buying made in Italy. So they bring the Chinese workers to Italy. And that's how you get that. Because coronavirus, we discover it on December 31st, 2019. That means first I've had 41 cases December 31st, 2019. That virus here since October. Come on. Thinking is free. Thank you, John Moe. It's free. You don't have to ask anybody permission to have a critical thought, man. But when we were all up in people's nose hole, look at Carnival, coronavirus in Trinidad since November, because we have people from Wuhan, China here. This is going to turn out to be the biggest waste of time from all these leaders who overreacted, panicked their people, and damaged the global economy. But the United States of America are taking that. Do you know, Sean Sunarine told me tonight in a conversation, the one thing that I was missing. People ask me, Philip, you go crucify yourself over this carnival thing. Kiss my ass. They were supposed to shut the airports. You want carnival? Take carnival every day. Every day of the week, month, year. I don't mind. Take carnival. Wind down low. But shut the borders. We knew. You see the 50,000 people who came, leave them outside. Because I am telling you, there have to have been people who came here that was carrying that sickness. And it is on the ground, and we're going to find out. Because Sally gave Mary, and Mary gave Harry. And Harry holding it now. All of them, they may not be showing symptoms, or they may. We're not playing connect the dots. We're just using our word imported. And we could put our word imported because we only tested people who came in on a plane. Stacking the odds. That's what you call managing the narrative. Yeah? No problem. If it's one thing you can't do, you can't hide this. If somebody, family member dead, they will ask for an autopsy. You can't hide this, you know. You could play. Like Terence D'Alsing playing and saying, we tell all you don't go on no ship. Bullshit. You tell us nothing wrong with coronavirus. We haven't with carnival. Why not a damn see? Like yourself. You said so. You said we are not. And you said some people on social media attacking me. Attacking me. It was not carnival that we wanted to shut down. But we're skipping the sentence short because some people will read. You will take your time to write something with all the information, including you will put church open tomorrow from 4 p.m. on Frederick Street, wear brown socks. And somebody will message you, the first question, what color socks to wear? Read the whole blasted thing, man. So we make it a short sentence. We say if you had shut down carnival, we import none. All the jackasses, who get corona from carnival? We don't know yet. You have about 3 months to wait to know. But it's not the carnival we're attacking. You call it carnival. Shut down the borders. And we shut down the borders now. Now, when we have 50 cases. Now, and we can shut it now. When by shutting it, we're damaging the economy. We're stupid like that. We're stupid like that. Trainees wake up, some trainees wake up every morning and say, you know what? You see this brain? I don't need it. Hold that. That's how this move. That's how this move. The same jackass who tell you they can't close down the borders telling you now is the right time to close down the borders. Come on. Come on. Only after this virus we will know the truth about this virus and how many people had this virus and how harmless this is unless you're aged. Italy was a clusterfuck. Italy was 300,000 Chinese moved straight from Wuhan into China, carrying it, and a jackass mayor who think that he going up against Trump because Trump knew. And I'm telling you, if the world had followed Donald Trump, and you see all the Trump haters, Trump could walk on water and somehow they're going to say, but why you can't swim? Look at Philip. Philip like Trump. I don't like Philip again. And you don't even know why you don't like Trump. And that's not my concern. That is not my concern. Okay? Because Bill Clinton, who was bullying Wynne, went down in history as the most popular president in the States. But Donald Trump grabbed them by the pussy and hate him since. No problem. The left-wing media has you all so chained up that you've subjugated your ability to have an opinion of your own. They used to own two magazines, Life and Time. And somebody wrote, Life magazine is just pictures. It's for people who can't read. And Time magazine is for people who can't think. Think, man, think. Trump told the world in January, he cut off all direct flights from China. And anybody who has been in China, 2 weeks quarantine. Because that was the 14 days. That was the 14 days. And if the entire world had locked it right there and then, we'd have isolated at the point of contagion. But we didn't. And we let Italy infect the world. Because Italy's beggar market moved from Italy to Spain. Check the circle there. Spain, France, Italy. Check them. Check who have it. Iran. China trying to control Iran oil. China trying to control everybody oil. That's why China up in Maduro crack. But Iran have big numbers because Belt and Road in your ass. So instead of us, you see, the politically correct mooks who want to tell you about that is xenophobia, kiss my half-red ass with that. It is not about xenophobia. It is about this is where the freaking virus is. Huanan market. In Wuhan city, shut it down, contain it. But no, 300,000 Chinese people go to Italy to work because you're not containing it. And Italy, the jackass mayor who thought Trump was being xenophobic, so he wanted to be populous. You see, this is the kind of assness that has ruined the world. Populous politics. So cat that he is, he created a program called I Am Not a Virus, I'm a Human, and told the people of Italy the opposite of social distancing. Hug a Chinese today. In a community, in a country that is physical with its affection, where mommy, daddy, granny, grandpa, uncle, auntie, everybody living in the same house. So you send your people to go and find Chinese people and hug them up and then take the virus home and kill their family. And that is the whole coronavirus history. Right there. And Russia, who has the largest uninterrupted border with China, have the lowest because Putin, airplane, they shoot you dead in the street. Right there. It is why Singapore is one of the best countries in the world. When you're serious about protecting your people, you do that. That's your job. You don't like me after that, vote me out. But I will do my job. Shut the borders down cold. Tell me when it blow over. Nothing in, nothing out. Take 4 weeks of carnival. Party till all your bun. Till your shoes wear down to the ankle band. Till run out. I don't mind. But no coronavirus. We'd have zero. Because if all imported, we'd have closed the borders and we'd have zero. So unless somebody teleport into Trinidad with coronavirus, like Yaman, who was touring the world and who is very silent right now. Is he number 50? They didn't give me no details. Is Yaman sick? Oh well, somebody tell me now. We need to know. Vladimir don't play. Lee Kuan Yew, when he took control of Singapore, Singapore was the child prostitution capital of the world. Singapore was stink nasty. It was drug infested. And he told the people, that's my resignation. It's undated. Anytime you think you don't like the job I'm doing, fire me. And in the length of time it took, Eric, George, Patrick, and Keith, and all the other pretenders from the UNC in between, to turn this country into a shithole, in that same time frame, Lee Kuan Yew made Singapore a first world developed nation, the best environmental policies on the planet, 50-50 green space in their cities. Kiss my ass, man. The water that you get in your tap in Singapore, cleaner than Blue Waters could sell. You believe that? Singapore's economy surpassed the United States of America's economy as the most competitive in the world. And they don't have oil, and they don't have gas, and they don't have Tobago, and they don't have Trinitario cocoa, and they don't have the best honey in the world, and the second most powerful pepper on the planet. But you know what they also don't have? They don't have jackasses. You see, the People's National Movement cult, when we write the history of this country, we will curse Eric Williams' name and spit every time we say it. When we write the history of Trinidad and Tobago, we will curse it. You could imagine this is a nation that accepted George Chambers as an acting prime minister when Eric died because they convinced the country that we are ready for an Indian prime minister. The two senior men, Kamaluddin Mohammed and Errol Mahabir, were East Indian. So they couldn't run the country. And we not racist. This ain't a racist brigade. Come the man, I was talking ice cream and doubles ball, get me hot and sweaty now with this. Singapore don't have jackasses. All you want to say, all you want about Vladimir Putin, the Soviet Union collapsed. Collapsed. And he had to rebuild that from scratch. Look at where Russia is now. A global superpower. That ain't easy to do. That ain't easy to do. Trust me when I tell you that. We are a shithole. And our social media is populated by shithole apologists. Daryl Duku or Danu or whatever he asked that jackass name is, trying to attack me, told somebody, we can't move a jackass to put a caca hole. Okay, I am a caca hole, no problem. But you just call your prime minister a jackass. And you work for him. You support him. You support a man that you know is a jackass. Where's your integrity? Where's your ethics? We live in a cesspool. We live in a shithole. Tonight, I went for a ride on my bicycle all down Arapita Avenue, Tragrit Road, Western Main Road. I went riding. And there is a truck from the city corporation washing the street. And I said, look at these asses. It took a virus to make you all do what you should have been doing all the time. You try to tell me, 12 o'clock midnight, every night, they have 10 streets in Port of Spain, Doma, Gregory Aboud. You don't have the common sense to demand in all your requests and all your begs. They can't pass a hot steam truck through Port of Spain and spray every pavement and every street. And if you don't want homeless people sleeping in your doorway, they ain't gonna be there for the hot steam. They're gonna be gone. And all the piss and all the shit will be gone too. Yes, Derek Benjamin, it was on your comment. Washing it with what? Indeed. Indeed. Maybe tomorrow we'll find out one of the financiers selling them soap powder. Indeed. And I talk too straight. And some of you can't take that. Can't take that. You need to make 5 and 6 fake profiles to come and tell me shit. But I am telling you, and the day you want to know how incompetent the PNM and the UNC is, call for a debate of leaders. Call for a debate. Forget the rest of them party. None of them have any substance, none of them have any value. They just need to pull up. The other day, Bastio Pandey called for a meeting of small parties and all of them show up. Like they're looking for a maxi taxi for a drop. No problem. Take it. But they had 3 meetings and they insist that we come just to show that we stand by our principles. So we went. And sitting on the table, I had to ask, how do you rationalize trying to join something new when 2 of you on either side of this table, Joel D'Souza and a fellow called Nkosi, done announce all you're running for San Fernando West? How do 2 of you reconcile that? And how do you assume, now that you've announced, that this new party that you all will form gonna choose you all? It can't be a gang up. All you're sitting on the table and I set up and there, with all due respect, my lord, I love you bad. You shouldn't be in anybody's government because you don't know what you're doing. We had an interview and I asked you questions you couldn't answer. And I could answer. And I've not been prime minister as yet. And I've not chaired the National Security Council yet. But I know what to do. And you should have too. And on the other side of the experience, you should know now. But I said to him, you, Michaela, all the people who present, you're not talking about forming something without even discussing ideology. Where do we agree? Where do we disagree? What do we stand for? What do we stand against? Nobody asks those questions. Because this is politics in name only. This is show up and say we link up, vote for we. How does that help you? More of the same shit, different flavor. Come on. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the first political party in this country's history that launched with a manifesto that said, and the points and what we propose are so powerful. Banking industry professionals say, if they do 10% of what they say, they turn this country around. Educators say, you see that? You see the PEP plan? Do that. Retired justices and directors of public prosecutors, senior lawyers say, you see PEP plan for the justice system? Do that. WASA know that the only way to fix WASA is the PEP plan. You see, we did our homework. We did our research. So that when we come to you to say, elect us the government, we know what we want to do. So that if you ask a question, and they do it all the time, and they always show up, like tonight on the live video, after every video, I take some time and I read all 500 comments. And I look for the ones that ask me. They always put me on the spot to say, what would you do? And then we give them the information. And if they have any self-respect at all, they'll just click like. Most of them can't answer. Because they're trying to say, we just discovered you, and you're talking big. But if you was in the shoes, what you would do? Philip, what you would have do about coronavirus? But we told you. When we got from the World Health Organization that there is a virus, take action. Take massive action. Call the Minister of Health. Call the heads of all the RHAs. Ask for an assessment. Where are we? What's our capacity? What do we need to do? Get that information. How many beds we have? How many ventilators we have? Because that is a necessity for this. Get that information so that you can make decisions based on that fact. It has a 14-day incubation period. We have to shut the borders now. Right now. And hope it ain't reached Trinidad yet. But we didn't do it. And we played bullshit politics. And your Minister of Health say, we're not shutting it down. Carnival. So the people take your advice and went on their cruise ship. Because if this was next year, Dinakin and Marshall and all their followers cruising their mother ass up and down the sea. Jumping up and down on a boat and coming back with coronavirus. Where to tell them? Where to tell them? They're looking to you for leadership. Like the people of Italy look to their mayor, that son of a bitch. They should take him to the Hague. What he did is a crime against humanity. For cheap politics, to stunt for Donald Trump, he put the entire world in danger. Al-Ali. That's the shortest name anybody ever told me. Unfortunately, not enough to win elections in a country that is racist. That is what you want to say. Because if Trinis don't vote race, PNM irrelevant. If Trinis don't vote race, Kamala and her whole crew irrelevant. Completely. All of those interchangeable parts and pieces that wear yellow shirts and red shirts, and they cross over, you hate them today, you support them tomorrow, you support them today, you hate them tomorrow. All that bullshit. And you tolerating it. And then you want to tell people it don't work. It doesn't work because you are trying to get sugar from shit. And then you want to complain. Philip used the word shit, can't vote for that. I'll go and actually waddle in shit. But pretend it's not real. And we've been in denial for 57 years. Eric, like the woman, I will never forget. The woman grandchild get killed between police and gang. And she all over carnage, just seeing a video of her. She wailing and gnashing her teeth. Oh God, my liver string. And Rowley in the street, hey, we voting for you, eh? We voting. Oh God, my liver string. You're cussing the fruit of the poison tree, but you're voting for the tree. So until we get to a place where Trinidadians wake up and say, you see this? I'm going to need this today. I'm going to use this. Until we get to there, you see Philip Edward Alexander, I'll play games and tell you I'm sexy and I'm gorgeous and all that shit. You know what I am? I am a sword to the poison tree. You know what I am? I am a leader of an army of civic-minded patriots who want a better country. They don't have to like me. Certainly don't have to love me. But you'll respect me. We come to this conversation. You ask all of them. Ask every single team member. Ask any leader in the Progressive Empowerment Party, and we have many, because we don't hold power. We decentralize power all the time. We're always looking to put people in charge. You demonstrate a capacity in any way. We call in a meeting one time and give you a post and test you. Ask anybody. They was passing by the office and they end up with a whole job. Because that's how we are. And we decentralize all of the authority of the party to all of these members who demonstrate capacity. And you ask all of them. If any single one of them have ever had to take a post without getting at least one meeting with me to describe for them how the job works. How it works. You see, that political model is our government model. We want to come to office, 13 cabinet ministers. 13 ministers. That's it. We want to decentralize the authority of the state. Give the authority of the cabinet to the constituencies. Make them 41 states. States. You get your own budget. You have your own management team, a constituency board of supervisors. We are abolishing the local government bullshit, failed nonsense, money wasting, time wasting, stunting jackassery that is local government system in Trinidad and Tobago. Abolish it. The member of parliament for the constituency getting a constituency board of supervisor. A supervisor for public works, public utilities, healthcare, education, and security. The boundaries of your constituency is your responsibility and theirs. And you will send a request for budget. And it will be read together if approved with the national budget. So the budget can't read in 2 hours. Colin can't stand up and giggle and giggy for you. No more giggle and giggy in the parliament. No more bullshit. I jam you, stick you in your eye. When you get a turn, you stick me in my eye. Bullshit. And all you outside there. Yeah. Die, my man. Oh, you're lost. You have nothing to get. A Progressive Empowerment Party budget will take 4 days. 4 days in the parliament to read. You know why? When the Minister of Finance is reading the budget, Madam Speaker or Mr. Speaker, we come to allocations. Allocations. And you start alphabetically. And the member of parliament for each constituency stands up and speaks for half an hour. We have requested 862 million, as is our budget request document, that is included in the budget. So you see what your whole team in your constituency asked for. You will see what they asked for. The minister approved us 780 million. We had to choose to take some of those projects and put them into the next budget. Of the $782 million he approved, these are the projects that are going to take place in my constituency this year. And each MP will stand up and read, because he is reading what he and his team, whether you are in the government or the opposition, you are in charge of your constituency. You are in charge of water. You're in charge of lights. You're in charge of cable. You're in charge of phone. You're in charge of security. You're in charge of the performance of education. You're in charge of the performance of healthcare. You're in charge of the conditions of your roads, pavements, sidewalks, and all infrastructure. You are in charge. You are responsible. Nobody coming from Sinclair to fix nothing. You have a budget that is approved at budget time. Run your constituency. At the end of the fiscal year, if you have not finished, you lose that money and it goes back to the consolidated fund, and all of your constituents should fire your ass for failing to do what you said you were going to do. But the people who live in the constituency, they will know, we're getting this road, that bridge, this school, that healthcare center. We're getting this police post, we're getting this, right, lights on these streets, everything getting fixed, new lamp posts, we're putting the telephone cables underground, fine. So the members of the community and the constituency could come to the office of the MP, where the constituency board of supervisors will be, and ask of the member for utilities. 3 months have passed since the budget. You got your $140 million allocation. What's going on with that? And they will tell the crowd, we have put it out for tender, and we're waiting on the 3 lawful competing tenders before we make a selection. The Chancellor of the Exchequer receives a copy of every approved constituency budget. You don't write a check and give it to the MP, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. But 27 line items were approved for Diego Martin West, or for Tunapuna. And the Chancellor of the Exchequer gets every one of those documents, a bound budget. This is the income and expenditure of the nation state of Trinidad and Tobago for the fiscal year X to Y. And you send an invoice from your constituency for something that is not in that budget, he will have to stamp it denied and send it back. Derek, if you listen carefully, you will see that the answer is in the question, because constituency by constituency is managed. And they have no bigger constituency. Even though Mayaro could hold the 9 constituencies around Diego Martin, it's still the same amount of people, and we're dealing with people. But if you send an invoice that is in the budget, we budget First Street Bridge, and you get an invoice for First Street Bridge, and the budget allocation was 21 million, and you send a budget for 24 million, and you wrote on the budget cost overruns, he has to sign on it, refer to minister. He can't write the check, even if he wanted to. If he wrote a check for anything that is not budgeted and approved, it's instant jail. Instant jail. You're thieving public funds. He is the exchequer. He is responsible for the distribution and disbursement of public funds. So he could only write what is approved by the whole system. So if you overrun, you have to go and plead your case to the minister. And then you and the minister had a deal. Ask Keith Rowley and Kamla Prasad Bisesa for their model of running this country. Ask them. A Progressive Empowerment Party government will make sure that the economy is diversified. 2 of our ministers will be a minister of the economy to manage the existing economy and all of the debt service and manage all of the operation of the nation state of Trinidad and Tobago. And this junior minister of finance will be a minister of economic diversification. And under him will be the secretary of planning. See how it makes sense? See how it makes sense? Chain of command. Track the communication. Secretary of Planning, answerable to the junior minister in the Ministry of Finance, with responsibility for diversification. And that's the truth. We fix that. We fix everything. 5 years. In 5 years, we eating Trinidad food. In 5 years, everybody throwing away water tank. We exporting water tank. Used water tank. Foreign used water tank and pump. In 5 years, everybody had their own water supply. In 5 years, all our schools are 10-year schools. SEA gone. Grade point average. All schools, prestige schools. All children have to hit 4.0 and better. Or we need to know why. It is the responsibility of the teacher, the principal, and the constituent supervisor of education and the constituency board of supervisors. Answerable to the Minister of Education. Answerable to the Prime Minister, where all the bucks stop. And that's how you run a country. It's a chain of command. Proper. So that any child that failed, you could find them on the list. And you go to the school, you go to the constituency board of supervisor, you go to the principal, you go to the teacher, and you find that child. And utilizing first world systems of counseling, you find out why this child, and you measure, because it's a grade point average exam, and it's an exam that you did last year, and it's an exam you did last term, and an exam you did this term. If you're consistently bad, and you're not improving, or you were good, and you went down, we need to know why. Jamie just now, we haven't even reached there yet. We need to know why. Because if what it turns out to be is this child is having difficulty at home, then the Department of Social Development and Management, not the Ministry of Social Development with a $4 million budget and not one has to do but hand out food cards, the Department of Social Development and Management, they get involved. Because as a signatory to the United Nations Rights of a Child, we know if the problem that the child is having being educated stems from the home, not the school, then our focus goes home to the parents. Explain this. We have a problem here. And for the past 2 terms, based on the counselor's report, it seems that the child is having difficulty in the home. And it seems that the problem is X. The problem is Y. So you have to tell us now if you're in a position to reassess and fix that between now and the next exam that this child will be taking in 3 months. We hope to see an uptick. We hope to see an improvement. Because if we don't, we will declare this issue, we will declare this particular case in need of urgent intervention, which could include removing the child from the environment, depending on what the problem is. But that is management to the very last child. No bullshit, no teacher bullshit, no principal bullshit, no parents bullshit. Everybody along the chain that is responsible for the educating of this child will be responsible to this child. And we will check every term. And if you fail, we will deal with that. And that's how you run a country. That's how you run it. No more tutor. Plans met with opposition. Listen. We will give them 2 choices. We will tell you. We will give you better than tutor could march for. Performance-based bonuses. For every child that improves under your care, $1,000 bonus. You have 20 children. You're not fighting a curve, you know. To improve each child, all they have to do is better than they did last year. They don't have to beat everybody else in the class. They don't have to beat everybody else in the school. They don't have to beat everybody else in the country like this SCA bullshit. They just have to do better than they did last year. And every child that improves under your care, $1,000 bonus. If all 20 children in your class improve this term, $20,000 bonus. Like yourself. We must make sure that every public servant and employee, especially those in the service arena of education, national security, nursing, are given the opportunity to aim for the highest performance and that they are rewarded handsomely for it. We need to make sure that our farmers are properly empowered and secure. A Progressive Empowerment Party government not putting guns on the road. We're not putting fences. We're not bringing electric fence. We're not bringing pit bull. We're not bringing security guard on your farm. We're telling you this. It will become law that everybody involved in the food chain in Trinidad and Tobago, the nation's food, will be part of a national cooperative. And you need to have a license to grow, to wholesale, or to retail anything above £1. So if police catch you with 20 bygone at the side of the road, you better have, this is who I bought it from, sir. They gave me a receipt. Look their number. That farmer, he sold me these 20 bygone. Go your way, sir. Well done. But if you don't have that, jail. Don't touch the nation's food. Big jail. Don't even walk on the farm. Big jail. Make sure and we protect the farmers. Give you the land to use. Give you support. Operate the cooperative markets. So your work is to grow food. We will protect you, we will irrigate you, and we will sell the produce for you. And we will take our cut, and you will take your share. And we will make entrepreneur farmers who could become millionaires. Because you start off with an acre, and you do well, take an next 2 acres, 3 acres, you're doing well, you keep going, man. At the end of every crop rotation, look, you're on 40 acres now, brother. Evaluation, assessment, performance, meritocracy. Make sure that every single person in the country has incentive. You see, I have people on my Facebook who are private individuals running their own business who will work day and night to make more profit, and they don't understand that that is exactly what should be introduced into the public sector. If you tell the police officers above and beyond the call of duty, reward. I want the 42,000 guns that the Prime Minister said exist, the illegal guns. I want them off the road. I want them off the streets. So once we secure the nation's borders and unstuffing all the containers on the port so guns can't come in the country again, we will give police officers alone, not persons, not citizens, not the people with the gun, not you. You shouldn't be having the gun. And I'm not rewarding you for having it. So I'm not dealing with you. I'm giving the police incentive to come and find you and to take the gun from you and to possibly charge you for having an illegal weapon. And we will set aside $84 million for those 42,000 guns. $2,000 per gun. You could be a police officer that work your shift and done 10 hours later and still put on the next 4 hours and bring in 6 guns. Look, $6,000. Go to the exchequer with this receipt. Film it, ballistically test it to record in case you encounter anything down the road that was this weapon seized, destroyed. Because after that's done, melt it down. And add that ingot to a wall. When we have 42,000 of those ingots, we will give ourselves a round of applause. Our police officers will be driving Porsche Cayennes and BMWs and Mercedes Benzes because they would have done their job. Above and beyond the call of duty, rewarded handsomely. You can have a proper, functional country. Not one of those things I said to you, not one is difficult to do. We spend $9 billion a year on national security. $9 billion. If we secure the nation's borders and unstuff the containers on the port, we could cut that in half and save $4.5 billion a year. $4.5 billion a year. $1 million could build 10 starter homes. $1 billion could build 10,000 starter homes. $4 billion could build 40,000 starter homes. HDC have a list and a demand for 100,000 homes. If we take $4.5 billion out of the national security budget this year and we take it out next year, by year 3, we could wrap up HDC. No money for HDC. You don't need it again. All the houses built. All the people have their mortgage. All the people paying their mortgage on time. Everybody happy. No guns. If they come to rob you, they come in with a slingshot. Give me all the money in your drawer. But they can't come with a gun. Rawson Warren, the Progressive Empowerment Party, will introduce something called Internal Affairs. We will remove the Professional Service Bureau, the Police Complaints Division, and the Police Complaints Authority. Those 3 things that are responsible for the performance of police officers, and replace them with Internal Affairs. Working in tandem with the New York City Police Department that has been massively successful with this. And 2 of the things that we will be introducing immediately are body cams and dashboard cams that you cannot interfere with. And if your cam goes dark, we do not stand by you. If it is a shooting and your camera, for some reason, turn off or damage while that shooting takes place, we cannot stand behind you. We cannot. So protect your body cam. Protect it. Nobody can set up nobody. We will put things in place for that. If the police officer that made the arrest and made the seizure had technical difficulties with his camera, the case automatically dismissed. So nobody can set up nobody. Deal with all of the problems at the root. At the root. Trinidadians paying $2 million for 1,100 square foot apartments in West Hills. I am telling you, a starter home, 1,100 square feet, should not cross $100,000 to build. And I have proven that time and again. That all of the VAT and all of the duty on basic building material will be removed. And that the state will offer to first-time homeowners 0 deposit, 0 interest for up to 30 years, for up to $1.5 million, first-time homeowners. And that works out to be $466.50 per $100,000. So even a minimum wage earner, single parent, could afford to own a home. The science proves beyond any shadow of a doubt that in countries where home ownership is high, that families are strong. And in countries where families are strong, children grow up law-abiding and disciplined. You want a better country, you have to hit all of the markers. You can't just pick and choose. You can't let a country run wild on crime so financiers could get into the gun and bullet business. And every year, you're buying a different shape of gun and a different shape of bullets. So next year when the shape of gun change, all the bullets that you had stockpiled have to be destroyed because you have a next different type of bullets to get. And all that kind of bullshit. We have to stop that. We need to make sure that the money that is being squandered going into deep pocket financiers' pockets are paid to the people doing the jobs. The teachers, the police officers, the nurses, the farmers. It is time we as a government, performed like a rising tide. It lifts all boats, not selectively. If you want a better country, give all the people in this nation pride in their jobs. The lady behind the counter making your sandwich, if she own her own home, if at the end of her shift, money going towards her children's future in equity in her own home, she will be working very hard to smile and give you the best service she could because she wants this job to pay her mortgage to keep that house. You want a better country? Lift all the people. All. Empower all the people. We have a plan for the homeless, Second Chance Foundation, to identify of all the homeless, who's drug addicted, who's mentally ill, who just fell through life's cracks. And each of those types of people have a solution to that problem. We could fix Trinidad and Tobago in a heartbeat. Decentralize WASA into 41 public-private sector companies. You have a responsibility. You would like to make money. Continuous billing is the #1 business model in the world. Cash flow is king. So we set the rates for water distribution island-wide. But you have 30,000 houses paying you every month. Your job is just to make sure that water reaches them. And if it doesn't consistently, we will terminate your involvement in the program and give it to somebody else. We need to make sure that we empower all the people, that not one handful of persons. When we said that every single project done in the country will be done in the constituencies by contractors from the constituencies, employing workers that live in the constituency, it means no more super Samis, no more super Calcos, no more super overnight Kusals, no more. No more. 41 pre-selected, pre-approved constituency lists of contractors. We could make Trinidad and Tobago functional for all the people. All of our drains, all them concrete drains that they built to take the bounty of rainwater from the hills and wash it to the sea, we'll close them. We'll put sluice gates on the ends of them. We'll put retention ponds all along the path of the river. There must be a consumption assessment, data, critical data. If I am the man responsible for water in Diego Martin West, I need to know the actual consumption requirements of Diego Martin West. I tell you, I watched a video once. First world, London, Manchester, England. And Manchester United is playing a game in their stadium. And the man in charge of the electric grid, who is in charge of the amount of power is in the grid, he is watching the game. Manchester is playing. Because he knows when the final whistle blows, people are going to get up and turn on the electric kettle to make a cup of tea. And he knows this from experience, from fact, from data. So he knows that it requires a 21% increase. So he pushes 21% more electricity into the system for the next 5 minutes to boil water. For Manchester. Now you tell me, if that level of thinking exists in the world, and we have had more money than Christ, we have had more money, we had money to make Dubai and Abu Dhabi shame, and we still a shithole, while money launderers and drug traffickers driving around this country in the biggest and the brightest and the best. We have to be mad. So many of our good people have had to run away from Trinidad and Tobago. If my brother had stayed in Trinidad and Tobago, what he'd do? He'd own a gyro store? What he'd do? He's one of the best in the world in his field. He just published a paper on COVID-19, 2.5 months after it was discovered. Verena and Venetia Seblal. Verena is now a children's author. Venetia came first in the world for the criminology exam. When they were stuck in Trinidad, they were used as promo girls. We need to create a country where all of our people get the same chances. You ever heard when the Congress of the People gave UNC under Kamla Persad Bissessar in 2010, we will rise? We will rise was stolen from a program I wrote for the Congress of the People that spoke about twinning Beetham with Westmoreland and Laventille with Valsayn, twinning communities, identifying the best of both, identifying the shortcomings of both, and bringing everybody to the same level. The concept behind it was to find all of our people who are underperforming, twin them with all of the communities that are overperforming, and get everybody to a starting level, and together we will all rise. The sons of bitches stole the last line, gave it to Nigel Rojas and tell him, write a song, we will rise. And fool you, because you was voting out Manning. So you vote Kamla. And when you was voting out Kamla, you vote Rowley. Bullshit politics. Distract and fool you. And there are people outside there clapping like trained seals. The same government that failed to take corrective action and protect us from COVID-19. Now pelting stone, big stone, talking a crocus bag of ass for the TV and the news media to sell you shit. Time to fix that. Time to fix all of it. You want a better country? Vote PEP. I promise you this. 5 years is all it takes, you know. 5 years is all it takes. At the end of 5 years, Trinidad will have an ice cream industry. We will have a chain of Creole, shack and bake, roti throughout this country. We must create an environment where all our people, you see, they have big shots who live in large, who take for granted the entitlement that they have lived and don't understand what it feels like to go to the bank and tell them, I need to extend my credit and my overdraft to clear a shipment, and the bank tell them no. Boss, my shipment on the ship? No. Boss, if I don't get to clear it, the apples will spoil? No. They've never had that. So they take for granted and they feel like Marie Antoinette, who thought when bread run out, eat cake. And that's why she lose her head. That's why she lose her head. The people at the top who grow up entitled think everybody have the same chances that they have. And it is that insipidity at the top is have them talking the kind of shit they talk. But we could fix Trinidad and Tobago. We need to get past the stupidity. We need to get past the racism. You want a better country? Hire people to work for you to give you that. Better country. Set those goals. The Progressive Empowerment Party promises you two things on the first day we in office. To convene the parliament and write a recall law and enshrine it in the constitution. From that day go forward, any member of parliament that you hire based on promises made and he underperforms or for high crimes and misdemeanors, you could recall and fire him. The second thing we're giving you is something called the Quality of Life Index. We will refer to it as the Happiness Index. And if you go on, it will be our website, and you go to the site and ask you, are you happy? If you click yes, thank you. If you click no, why? And it will give you many options as to describe and click and point and select boxes so that it instructs us. At the end of that process and at the end of every day, it will, every time you enter, it will adjust what you've ticked. So that if 32% of the people are unhappy with national security, it will say that. And the cabinet will be able to say, Mr. Minister of National Security, 32% of the population are unhappy with you. We need that number to come down. If you want to still have this job, big perks, big salary, people blowing smoke up your ass to wake you up in the morning. If you want the smoke to continue, do your freaking work. You want a better country? vote for it. Vote for a government that's brave enough to tell you, chart us every single day, and if we underperforming, fire us. Well, I ask the two of them why. For all the talk they talk, they never write a recall law. This is the only country in the world that you could hire a government and can't fire it. Gordon Draper, a PNM MP, won the election and went away and drew his salary for 5 years and never came back. And there was nothing his constituents could do. And a sitting MP of the PNM, when I drew that as a reference, he said, well, that's his right, he won. And I thought in that moment that there is something broken in the cult members' minds. I can't blame them. Something broken there. Genetically, I don't know. Is it voodoo and witchcraft when they go down, when the leaders go down Moruga and roll around in the cow skin and all that shit I hear this do? Is it that? I don't know. I don't know. The cult damages its supporters. And what we have to do is fix the country in spite of them. Let them cuss. One set of friggin' water in my pipe. What am I supposed to do with this? Eh? All my children have jobs. I don't get to see them, eh? All full of shit in that pep party, eh? Eh? And the road so friggin' smooth. I fall asleep while I was driving and nearly crash. Eh? Vote yourself a better country. You want that? Vote PEP. Until tomorrow, stay safe. Trinidad and Tobago.